Hey guys, welcome to another week of Crystal's vlog. This week I'm going to go over some of the hormone stuff that I had been dealing with, I am dealing with, I'm going through, so that you guys can kind of understand a little bit more of where I'm at. I have so many people asking me so many different questions about hormones and if I can go over it again, and let me tell you this in the very beginning of this video, I am not a hormone expert. I have had some hormone issues and we are working on fixing those. So I can only tell you what has and has not worked for me. If you guys have any other questions or concerns about yourself or maybe want to get testing yourself, I used Allie Miller. I'm still using her. We have a consultation call every several months. I know she does get booked very quickly, but she also has Becky Yu, who she also works with, who does the same thing, or at least similar. They're both wonderful people. I trust them both with all of my heart. So that is who I've been using for all of my testing. My insurance, I don't think will really cover all of that. So I've been paying through Allie, and I just really enjoyed the whole process. She's been super helpful. So anywho, let's move on. I've done some videos in the past when I did get my results back and kind of reviewing some of the supplements I was taking. I'm going to do the same thing again today, just so everyone kind of has a better understanding. If you want to know more in detail about any of the things that I'm going over, you guys can go watch the previous videos. But I have my phone here. I have some of the information that I was going to share with you guys about which hormones for me has been affected. A lot of it was not my sex hormones, which a lot of people have questions on, and honestly, we decided to get my hormones tested. My symptoms were, I was just really depressed all the time, even though my life is so wonderful. I have a lot of anxiety, and my periods were very long. There was very few days within the month that I wasn't having my period. There was a lot of cramping, just a lot of like different feelings, but most of all it was just like I was so tired, so fatigued, so miserable. Robert was miserable just watching me live my life. My body hurt, my joints ached, and so I'd been just really miserable. It was affecting my lifting, it was affecting my relationship, it affected a lot of different things, and it was time that I did something about it. I thought it was just a mental thing that I couldn't overcome, but it was hormones, and I mean, that's probably not all of it. A lot of it probably was mindset, but it was nice to know that science had a little bit to do with it. So let's dive into which ones for me were kind of low. I didn't have any that were high, so, well, I had one that was high. So serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine to epinephrine ratios, my GABA, glycine, the histamine was really low. All of those ones were really low. So all of the things that are supposed to give you energy, all of the things that are supposed to give you a high, make you feel good, those are the hormones that were not working. Not working. They just weren't being produced in my body, and it was affecting me mentally, and that's why I felt so depressed and had the anxiety and all of that. Now on the opposite side of that, my epinephrine was ramped way high. So literally my body had been using adrenaline for its energy source for a long period of time because I wasn't producing all of the other hormones that helped me to have that energy. So I was constantly running on like fight or flight, and my body was just fighting and fighting and fighting, and that's why I was so tired all the time, and I like couldn't get the energy to do anything. And I had several people on many videos and on my stories and things like that actually comment about how miserable I looked, or how sad I looked, or how depressed I looked, and it was hard to see those and know that I had been fighting inside of me this whole time, and to hear people say that almost was like a little bit more of a push, because it made me realize that the world could see it too, and I've always tried to be like a light in this world, and it was being affected. So anyways, I wanted to quit that, make that not a thing anymore. Let's talk about the other ones. So my cortisol levels were crazy. So a lot of people are like, oh, my cortisol levels are so high. Well, mine are like non-existent. I didn't have any cortisol really. The times of the day where it would go up and down, it was always low, but it hardly like went up and down at all. So that was definitely something that we needed to work on. My afternoon was really low. And then also my DHEA was really low, and that actually helps to regulate a lot of those hormones. So the fact that that was low and that helps your body use all of the other ones was a really big factor. That my DHEA was probably one of the lowest ones. Now let's talk about sex hormones. I also wanted to get this tested because I had been on birth control for I think I had said it was 9 or 11 years. I can't remember which one it was. I'd been on birth control for that whole time, and that's really not good for your body. If I can motivate anyone to stop taking birth control, I hope that I can make a change in this world, because it's really terrible to be continually putting in artificial hormones into your body. It is not a normal thing. I don't know why they normalize it. I don't know why they tell young women, young girls to use it. It's not a good thing. They gave mine to me at a young age to help stop my cramping, to stop bleeding so much, which is just absolutely incorrect, and they should have searched for a better reason or done something else. I was either offered Vicodin or I can take birth control. Neither one of those are a good option, so I should have gone to someone else, but I was young and dumb and didn't know. So please look into birth control if you're interested. Allie also has, this is not a video for Allie, but she's been amazingly helpful to me in my progress and my all of my health and trying to like regulate everything. But she also has a podcast. I think it's 106 and 107. I'm pretty sure it's those, but they're all about hormones and birth control, and it's super important that people are very aware of that. So if you haven't listened to that one, please do. If you're interested in it, please do. Again, I'm not the one that knows a whole lot about it, but I can tell you guys all the people that do. And then you can get educated yourself and decide what you want for your body. But when I listened to that podcast in January, I was like, bam, it's coming out. I had the IUD. I was like, it's not worth it to me. So I got my sex hormones checked as well. Those are actually surprisingly pretty good. The only thing really that I was needing to kind of pay attention to was the DHEA, and then also my estrogen to progesterone ratio. I don't know a whole lot about that, but it really wasn't that low, but it was something that we decided to work on and try and like increase and make a little bit better. So let's just run through my supplements really quick, trying not to make this video too long, but also pretty informational. So in the evening, I take, I'm hoping that I can maybe get these to zoom in a little bit. Focus. Anywho, this is Relax and Regulate. Again, all of this is from Naturally Nourished. So I take the Relax and Regulate, which is mostly a magnesium, and I take it in the evening. And then I take the Calm and Clear. I take this starting, I don't know if this will even, I'm gonna stop trying to make it focus because it's not happening and my nails are horrific. So the Calm and Clear, I take that several times throughout the day, starting in the afternoon. Then I take the Adrenal Support. I take that twice a day. That's what's gonna help my cortisol, my energy levels, all of that. So I take 2 of these in the morning separately. Then I take the DHEA. This is 25 milligrams. This was like the hardest decision for me, because if I chose to take this, it could mean that I could potentially not compete in a natural federation with figure competitions, because you are not actually allowed to take DHEA. Now this is a low enough dose where some of them will allow you to, but others definitely will not, and you have to wait like, I think it was like 6 or 7 years before you can compete again. So that was a hard decision for me, but a worthwhile decision, and I'm really glad that I took it. And again, I don't know when I'll compete or if I will compete again, so for my health, this was more important to me. So then I take just like a regular vitamin D. It's a vitamin D3. I take 5,000 IUs. And I noticed that this has really helpful. I think most Americans are deficient in vitamin D. And then, so Allie and I had another consult since the last time I talked about my hormones, and I have a lot of gut issues. A lot of you guys know about my gastroparesis, IBS, and I honestly believe that I almost think that I've like beat it, and every time I start to think that, I get another scan done of my stomach and I'm super backed up, and the doctors can't believe that I'm not hurting with pain because my bowels are just not working properly, so usually they're very full. So anyways, I feel like keto has helped me a ton, and I know it has. I don't know that I'm completely healed of it, but I definitely feel like it most of the time. So anywho, I still have some gut disturbances, and a lot of times it's like when you eat out or something like that. So we decided to do a probiotic challenge where, and again, this is Allie's challenge, but I take one of these a day now. The challenge was to kind of see how your body would do with the probiotics. If it would react poorly, if you would probably need more testing. If you reacted great, then you would just take one of these a day. I did great. I'm so grateful for that. So no more testing on that for me. So I just take one of these a day to just keep my gut healthy. And then I wanted to kind of like run through some of the things. I'm so sorry if this video is long. I can't even see. It's been 11 minutes already. But I wanted to run over a couple things just a couple minutes longer. But some of the things that I've tried that didn't work for me is one, carnivore. People die for carnivore. Like, people love carnivore. And I was like, heck yeah, I want to get behind this. This is great. And honestly, I was 100% miserable. Like, my stomach hurt. I didn't feel good. And I did it for a solid like 1 month and like a week. Because I wanted to give it a fair chance. And I was like, okay, I can do anything for a month. But I was honestly miserable. My depression, my anxiety, like everything was really bad. I was super tired. I just felt miserable. My lifting didn't get any better. Like, everything hurt. So although carnivore may work for some people, it didn't work for me. And I'm not saying that I won't try it again, but during that time of trying to heal my hormones, it was not a good fit for me. It was not good. So I decided not to do carnivore for a while, and of course I'll still do low carb. I never really go over like 20 grams total carbs. Sometimes I do a little bit, and I'll talk about that next. So when we started working together to work on my hormones, one of the things that was my progesterone to estrogen ratio, and with that we wanted to increase that, increasing your vitamin C, all of those things, and cruciferous vegetables. So it's during certain times of the month, and there's also a certain time of the month I was supposed to do like flaxseed and things like that. And I may have made a really big mistake and kind of stopped doing that. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure if I will have done myself any harm, but it was just like a small amount of berries, some vegetables, and then the flax, like a little bit of flax, because I needed to increase my estrogen levels. So I don't know if that's going to affect anything. She did suggest that I take those, and I'm not a big fan of like doing fruit on keto. I do have vegetables, and when I do, it is cruciferous, like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, those type of things. And then flax, I eat the keto brick, so there is flax in the keto brick, and so I'm not like trying to eat those things extra, but I kind of just stopped eating those type of things. I don't know. Over exercising, I always want to do it. Over exercising for my body. I'm not a crazy Olympic athlete or anything like that. They exercise a ton, but there are definitely times where I have tried to increase my cardio and my lifting, and tried to do yoga, and tried to do this and that and the other, and my body was not accepting of that. I needed to recognize that I needed to take a step back, allow my body to heal, allow my body to not feel that stress of like fight or flight all the time. And it's okay to take a deload week. It's okay to take a little bit of time off. But over-exercising is something that I always want to do. I always want to do more cardio. I always want to do more lifting. I always want to do 2 body parts a day rather than 1. And for my body, that was too much. So I needed to be okay with taking a little bit of a step back, lifting every day still, doing my cardio when I wanted to, but realizing when that needed to stop or slow down. Then, the idiot that I am, I tried to stop taking my supplements because yes, it can get expensive. I mean, it can get expensive with your appointments, it can get expensive with the consultations, it can get expensive with the running the tests, it can get expensive with the supplements. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm spending so much money on myself. Like, this is ridiculous. So I thought, okay, well, maybe my body's good now. Like, I feel pretty good, maybe I'm good. Definitely not good. I stopped taking them for about a month, told Allie about it, and I recognized that my joints started hurting again. I just started to like feel a little bit more depressed and a little bit more anxious and a little bit more just not so great, and that was totally my fault because I stopped taking my supplements, and that's something that my body needs and I don't get it from my food. So not taking my supplements was not smart. Okay, and then the things that have worked, and again, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry this video is so long, but I am trying to rush through it. I just have had so many people ask so many different questions about hormones that I really wanted to like put it out there for anybody who's really interested. Things that have worked. Make sure to take your supplements. If you have been prescribed a supplement, if you have been told that it would be a good idea and it works, keep taking them. It's okay to take supplements. Get plenty of sleep. That is something that was really hard for me. We are workaholics. We love to work. Robert more so than myself, but I have jumped on the bandwagon of working all the time. I've needed to set aside a time in the evening to wind down and actually allow myself to fall asleep at the time that I've chosen and wake up at the time that I've chosen. That's super, super important, making sure to get enough sleep every night. But then if you can, like 1 or 2 days a week, get in a little extra sleep. That's been really helpful for my body. Lowering your stress levels. That is also very hard. We own several businesses and trying to run them all, and employees and regular life and family, and we got married, and there's just a ton of stuff. Lowering that stress level, talking it out with people, being calm about situations rather than like letting it affect you, and just breathing through it. That's super, super huge. We did go on a flight, and that was really, really stressful for me. I really hate flying. We took a flight, and it ended up being fine, but I could definitely tell like in my body that entire week before we went on that flight, like I was hurting so bad. Then when we landed, like I could not go to the bathroom. So I know I put my body like in a major stress zone. So making sure to not be so stressed and figure out what's gonna work for you. I thought I grabbed it. Oh, there it is. The GABA Calm is what I actually grabbed when I decided to do something about like the flight and my like stress levels and stuff. So anytime I feel like extra stressed or anxiety or anything like that, I take 2 of these, and it is super helpful. It doesn't do anything crazy, just kind of takes the edge off. You don't feel weird or anything like that. You just don't feel like crazy. Lowering caffeine is also huge. That's what's gonna help me like heal my like cortisol levels and all of that, my energy levels. So making sure to be aware of your caffeine, what times of the day that you're taking it. Increasing my calories was huge. I was already eating enough food. I was already eating plenty of food. That's something that I preach, but making sure to be in excess. Make sure you're giving your body enough food so that it's not chronically stressed out. If you give your body what it needs, then a little bit more, you're not going to gain a whole ton of weight. I mean, you don't need to be eating that much to where you're going to be gaining weight, but you need to eat a little bit in excess. Make sure your body feels safe and secure, and eating a little bit more is good. Like, it's not bad. I do suggest keeping the carbs low still, but then I also did increase my protein. My protein ratios increased for myself. Before I was eating, closer to 80%, and now I'm eating closer to 73, 74. Not telling you to eat that, but that is the ratio that ended up working best for me, but it took me a while to find that. I started at 80, and then I slowly increased my protein until I felt like super awesome. So those are just a few of the things that worked for me. I wanted to go over all of those things. I'm so sorry this video is long. I need to stop apologizing, but I hope this was really good information for you guys. If you have any specific questions or you're curious about something that I didn't go over, I'd be happy to share. I'm pretty sure I went over everything. People ask if keto can help, heal hormones and stuff. And in a sense, yes. But in another sense, maybe not. Maybe your body needs a little something else. And I can't imagine where I'd be if I wasn't keto, and what kind of harm I did to myself when I wasn't, when I was eating carbs and drinking and smoking and doing all of the crap that I was doing, what damage I did then, and how many years it has taken me to overcome all of that kind of stuff. So yes, I think keto can help, but some of us, we need a little extra. We need a little extra love, a little extra care, and it's okay to have that. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Please reach out if you have any questions, any concerns. I'd be happy to give you any advice that I can, and then kind of steer you towards someone who might have a little bit more information. So love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.